right, guys, I'm back. Answer another question. I tried to do it. I tried to do one of these videos every day. I have no clue how to do it. I lasted about a week, if that. No, I lasted about a week and a half. Man, I don't know how you do it. I don't have time. I don't know how to do that with fishing, life, everything else going on. Impossible. Can't do it. But I'm still answering the questions, and I'm still gonna get them out as quickly as possible. Okay, so we did another question. I've still got other fishing videos I gotta do too, right? So I'm doing fishing videos. I've been fishing a lot. I've got championships coming up, and I still gotta answer some of these questions. So I looked at this one. What baits do we throw, or should you throw, in clear water or stained water, cloudy days, sunny days? Honestly, this is for a beginner, right? And probably the easiest answer that I can come up with, and the easiest answer, this is an easy question actually. It's a very easy, simple answer. And when I answer it the easy way, as these birds go nuts around my house, as I answer this the easy way, at the end of the video, you'll still be more confused, and this won't help you at all. And here's why. Everyone's gonna say this, and they're for the most part right. Okay. The problem is a lot of people on YouTube and a lot of these videos you see, they're the easy answers. They're the obvious answers. They're the ones that everyone feels that, like, well, man, everyone else says it, so it must be true. Everyone's going to tell you this. If you're throwing clear water, right, throw clear baits. It's pretty simple. You want to throw the clearest, non-abrasive baits as possible. So I'm not going to get in a crystal clear lake and throw the brightest bait ever, right? I'm going to try to get the colors as neutral as possible. So clears, really subtle greens and browns and things like that. I'm not going to throw this like bright orange, neon orange bait that I can see a mile away. Okay, for the most part, that's true. And same thing with stained water. Now, stained water is different only because most of the time in stained water, you're not throwing colors that you're trying to match anything. You're trying to throw colors that they can see because you're trying to get their attention. Okay, so in stained waters, it's more of an attention getter thing. Like, they can't see as far, one, right? So we all know that, like, fish are for the most part visual feeders. Okay, now they're going to use their lateral line to feel things, right? And they're going to hear things as well. But for the most part, they're going to, they want to see it. So they use that sight as their main thing. So in dirtier water, I'm trying to throw something they can find and see, right? They're going to use all those other senses, but that's really what I'm going to do. The problem is in clear water, when you do that, they can see forever. They can use sight better than anything else. So I'm not going to throw something that just stands out and looks gaudy. Now, that's the easy part. I will say this about the cloudy days and the sunny days. I don't really change up so much in the, like, when it's really clear on clear lakes. You would think sometimes the cloudy days are better. I've always found, and I don't know what it is, but Amstead. I have a lake down here at Amstead, and it is an incredibly clear, like you can see 20 foot. There are cloudy days out there that I say are worse for fish, not catching or anything like that. They seem to miss your bait more on the cloudy days than the sunny days. In the sunny days, they can see for, if we can see down 20 foot, I have no idea how far they can see. They never miss your bait. Like, they'll hit it and eat it. But on cloudy days, they miss it. I honestly can't answer that question. I have no idea. Like, it can't be a visual thing because they can still see unbelievably good down there, as opposed to a lake that's very dirty. So that part is always kind of confused me. But yes, on a sunny day, they miss your bait. I'm not saying you'll get more bites, or less bites, but they'll miss your bait more on cloudy days. Now, I haven't seen a bait or a color that matters that much differently when you're in clear water when it's sunny or cloudy. To me, to me, when you're in clear water, it doesn't matter. It just matters whether or not they miss your bait. That's my experience. Now, if you're talking about dirty water with sunny and overcloud, sunny or being overcloud, it just depends. It's still the same thing. I don't really change up too much about stuff like that. Like if you're talking about like soft plastics, I don't change any of that stuff. I don't really change anything except for a couple things. I just kind of fish differently, to be honest with you. I fish more, like I'm gonna fish topwaters differently, right? When it's cloudy. I'm gonna fish swim jigs differently when it's cloudy. I'm gonna do a lot of things differently when it's cloudy, because fish tend to come out of things. And what I mean by that is they come out of grass, they come out of stumps, they come out of boat docks. They just come out of cover more when it's cloudy like that. They just tend to. And so I just fish differently. I don't really change the baits I'm throwing. Usually though, you can get a little bit more, you don't have to stay as subtle when it comes to color, right? You can throw a bait that has, when I say a little bit more color, maybe in the sun and I'm throwing a swim jig, because in the comment he asked, man, I really love the swim jig. You can get away, I think, throwing a more natural colored swim jig when it's bright sunny. Like maybe you don't throw a solid white one. Maybe you have a little black in there and a little silver and gray and stuff, and tone down that white. But when it's cloudy, I want to throw that just big bright white one out there. Okay, so things like that. But for the most part, I'm not changing based on sun and clouds. I just change the way I fish, but not so much the color. Okay, that's my standard issue answer for that. It's a answer I think everyone will agree on, and it's probably what you've always heard. But y'all know me. Y'all know I don't like to give standard answers, because standard answers are fake. They're not real. They're not true. Everything that you read in fishing, pretty much over the years, has had some truth to it, and the other part is a lie. Now, I don't think it's an intentional lie. I just think it has been proven that it is a lie. Okay? And that's the great thing about fishing. That's why I never tell anyone this is in concrete. This isn't written in stone, because it's not. I have seen the exact opposite work for everything I've ever said. Now, when I say it is the exact opposite, it is. However, it is still not the norm. What I said at the beginning was the norm. It is what will normally happen. But I have seen where things do not add up like that, where the exact opposite is true, where you can throw a bright bait in the clearest water and catch them. Now, I don't believe that that's the norm because of this. I believe that's a totally different video, and maybe I'll do one. Actually, I probably will do one, even though no one asked it, because I think it's true. I believe that is based on the fact that that fish has probably never seen that bait or that color thrown there. In this day and age, there's so many baits and so many things and so much pressure that fish get accustomed to certain things. And when they see something so totally different, right, they'll bite it. I believe that with almost every bait out there. If new baits come out, they're new and they're exciting, and they usually work. Almost all new baits, if they're just a little bit different, a different sound, a little bit different everything. And fish will bite those baits because they haven't seen it, they're not used to it. It might be bright colors, it might be all these different things. However, they will only last for a certain period of time. They will only last for so long. Now, phenomenal baits will always do good. They will do good 20 years from now. But there are certain baits, and it seems to me, especially with live scope and everything else going on, is the bigger, the bolder, the more intrusive, the more gaudy, the more all these things, the quicker it's going to go away. So I believe things like, example, like a glide bait. I believe that when people are so intrigued with this glide bait thing, but it will slowly get worse and worse over time, because it's so big and gaudy, and the more people throw it. Now, right now, people aren't throwing it. They're still not throwing it. And it will catch fish. It's never been this like fish catcher, but it will catch fish, and it will catch a big one, no doubt. But over time, that same action and that same big bodied bait is going to have less, it's going to be harder to trick those fish because they've seen them, right? And it's so big and gaudy that they see it. Now, a little bitty crappie jig or something down there, I mean, that thing's so less intrusive to them that they're going to, the subtle stuff I think will catch them better over time for longer years, okay? Which goes back to when I say subtle, you know, things that match more of what they're trying to eat. Like I said, the other stuff will work for a period of time, and that's why I always say, like, sometimes that's a good thing. But for the most part, what I said at the beginning was real and was the norm. But I'm just telling you, all that stuff can be erased by, I think, new things. And sometimes just doing something, and maybe it's not new, but maybe no one's done, you know, fished a lure of that color in a while, or maybe no one's fished that lure. Like, people forget about things. So it's something to think about. But for the most part, that's my view on what to throw in clear water versus stained water. The cloudy, sunny, I don't believe that's as big of a deal. I believe, I mean, there's some things in there like throwing chrome when it's sunny and things like that. Yes, I'm not going to go into every single little weird detail about that, but I will say that I think you just fish differently when it's cloudy and sunny as opposed to changing color. So, hope that helps, man. All right. See y'all guys in the water. See y'all.